Right, good evening. I'm not expecting to see many people in here because I haven't given you any notice, but it will stop in here. This video will stop in here, and you'll be able to view it at your leisure. Oh, let me just turn my phone down. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking to myself. That's better. Right. Oh, a couple of you come in. I'll give it a minute or two. Hi Maxine, hi Alison. Hope you're alright, guys. Hubby's off watching football. So and I'm not remotely interested in football. Oh, hi Maxine. So I thought I'd do this. Thanks guys, anybody that tuned in to Hochanda on Monday. Appreciate that. We had a lovely day actually. It's really nice. And one of the things we brought out was these tunnel templates. But unfortunately the demo that I did was a bit kind of rushed. They asked me to do it sort of near the end of the show, and I didn't really have enough time, and then I couldn't go over it again in the next show. So I thought I'd do a bit of a live. It's a bit impromptu. I haven't got loads of things prepped, but it will just give you a bit of an idea of how these things work. So if you've ordered them, you won't have received them yet because we've only had like the first little bits go out today. But if you've ordered them and you need to know what to do with them, then at least you can refer back to this video, which will give you a rough idea. Oh, there's quite a few people coming in now. Lovely, thank you. So pleased you can join me, guys. I'm trying to hi Rianne. I'm trying to look at the hi Holly, hi Pam. I'm just trying to look at the comments on my phone. Normally I've got my laptop set up, but that was it's too late in the evening. That was too much of a faff. So that's still sitting downstairs. I hope that I hope I don't get any kind of buffering or anything. We have an extender from our router, which is normally in the room below me, but that's been moved because it's needed elsewhere. So I hope that the broadband signal will get through the ultra thick walls we've got in this house, and I won't buffer too much. So my apologies in advance if I do. Okay, so without any further ado, I will get pressed on with this. So these are the A6 ones. If you've ordered these, you obviously get the A5 ones as well, unless you ordered them directly from us, when I think you can order them either one size or the other. Can't remember, I think so. Oh, I'll tell you what I will do. Let me just pop this microphone on. Might be able to hear me a bit better. So the way these work, this plain one, if you're doing some tunnel pages in a book, an A6 book, then you can use this. It's got the holes pre-done. You can use this to draw around and use it for your tunnel template. So when it's all folded up, it will fit onto this, and you'll still have the holes exposed. You don't have to put it in a book at all. You can mount it on a canvas, whatever you like. You know, it's all sorts of different ways you can use these. Now the demo I did on Hochanda involved an arch shape, which obviously we don't do, but what I did was I incorporated the top half of the circular one and the bottom half of the square one, because everything matches up, so you can kind of combine the two if you want to. And you can, of course, as well, you could have circular sort of that side, and then square that side, and that'll give you yet another shape that you can do. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to try and show you very quickly how you actually use these. This paper I've already just gone over with just a couple of rollerfuls or braillefuls of paint just to give it a bit of colour. But you can use pattern papers or anything that you like. And what you do need is a fairly sharp pencil. Okay, it's no good having a blunt one. You need one that's going to get down in these grooves, and these grooves are only about 1 millimetre thick. So I've already prepped some. I haven't actually cut them out yet, but just to show you. So what you would do to create your pages is you would need one piece of paper for each one. So I'm doing the A6, so I can fit 2 of these on an A4 sheet. And you draw all the way around the outside, and that's where you're going to be cutting out because you want to create your page. And then these inner lines are essentially score lines, so you're going to be folding on these. I say score lines, just call them fold lines because they fold quite easily. You don't actually have to score them, especially if you're just doing it on like cartridge paper as I am. So they just give you an idea of where you need to fold your pages, and then that creates the gusset. These create the gusset, which give the whole thing the depth. Now I've already done the first 4 on other pieces of paper, but on each one you're going to just pencil through just one of the circles on each sheet. So on this particular one I'm going to do the inner one, and I've already prepped pages for the other 4. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I take this page, this you can see is the largest ring, and then this one is the next one in, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then what we need to do is we need to cut these out. Now I didn't obviously pre-prep these, so I'm going to try and cut these as quick as I can without boring you half to death. Let me just... Now you can either cut them with scissors or with a craft knife, whatever you find more comfortable. I generally find that when you're cutting around the outside edge, cut very slightly in, just a fraction in from the outside. I'll explain to you later on why you would do that. It's only literally like 1/4 of a millimetre in from your outside edge, that's all. It's, you know, in fact all you're doing is really cutting off the pencil lines. That's that, and that. That one and that one. Now what I did on the demo on Hochanda is I actually drew some like stonework round each of the sort of apertures, if you like, before I sort of cut them out. You don't have to do that at all. You can just literally, which is what I'm going to do tonight, you can literally just cut this circle out as it is. You can also, as an alternative, you could get a rubber stamp and you could stamp just over the edge, so you've got a sort of like the image going over the edge there, and then when you cut it out you would cut around that image so it's kind of peeking in on each piece. So each layer that you do, you'd have another bit of rubber stamp somewhere that you've stamped down, so you get these images just showing up the further you go up in the tunnel. It's just something else you can do. One of the samples I did, I'd actually cut out some leaves which I'd stamped and just stuck them on each level as well. So there's just something else, just little things you can do with it. So I'm going to just cut this out like this on its own. Now when you're cutting out circles, if you're doing it with a craft knife, the easiest way to do it, which I haven't got in front of me, is on either a ceramic tile or a glass mat. And that's because you can literally almost hold the knife still, and it just glides over really easily. The rubber mats are fine, obviously, but it's just not quite so easy to do it that way. I'm going to just cut out the rest of these. Oops. Without taking the edge of my finger off, hopefully. Note, you should really use a metal ruler, not a plastic one. What is it? What's the saying? Do as I say, not as I do. Something like that, isn't it? So if all of a sudden this goes up the side of the ruler and takes the edge of my finger off, and then I turn the camera off, you know that I've got problems. Okay. Right. Once you've actually got all these pieces cut out, it's just super easy to put all this together. I didn't actually get a chance to show you how they all to go together on the show, so hopefully if this is in the group, and what I will do is I'll try and save this video. I can actually save them and then put them up on our YouTube channel, so they'll be there as well, that you can just go in and watch back. That's another one. There's no reason why you can't keep these bits either. You can use them on your projects elsewhere. But don't be like me. I tell you what, I used to, when I first started crafting, I would save every little scrap of paper, and I even had a little concertina folder. Well, it was quite a big concertina folder actually, where with all the pockets in. No, not a concertina. It was an expanding file, and it had all these pockets in, and I used to pretty much colour code them. And all these little scraps of paper would be put in all these pockets. I never ever used any of them. Because every time I'd just go to a fresh bit. And in the end they got thrown away. But anyway, some of the bits are quite useful. Okay. So this is another layer here. Right, let me just cut around that one. Move that over there. It is really so much easier on a glass mat or a ceramic tile. That's it. That's like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop my jacket off because I'm having a bit of a flush. It's an age thing. Oh, that's better. Right. That's it, that's better. Right, okay. Now, of course, you don't have to use every single layer either. I've done every single one just to show you. But you don't have to. You can just use 3 of the layers or whatever you want. That's it. But you can see how quickly you can actually do these if you're just doing, you know, sort of fairly straightforward ones without all the stamped images in it. It's very, very quick. And of course, if you are watching this on catch up when it does get published, you can fast forward through all this bit because you'll get the gist. So let's just cut the middle out of that one. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but are you finding that you're getting your notifications for stuff coming up a lot later than they actually get published. Yeah, some of the groups I've been in, I have like a notification coming up saying, oh, so and so posted 5 minutes ago or whatever. And I go in there and they've posted the day before. I don't know if it's just me or whether it's a Facebook thing or what, but it's a bit frustrating because if, you know, somebody posts up something quite interesting and then you kind of miss out. But I never know what Facebook is up to. I guess I shouldn't knock it really. It's been a godsend during this pandemic, hasn't it? Okay, so we're nearly there. So move it out of the way, and then this is the last one I think that I've got to cut out. Let's just move it under the camera. That's it, like that. So essentially you've now got, there's your smallest one, that's your next one, then that one, and then those two. So you can see the basis of your tunnel. What I'll do, let me just get an ink pad and some ink, and I'll just ink around the edges of the insides of these because it'll make them a little bit clearer for you, so you'll be able to see. So you can just, of course, don't forget, if you didn't see the beginning and when I was explaining about other things you could do, don't forget you can put all your stamped images and stuff around these, or you can do the brickwork like I did on the demo on Hochanda. I did actually share that show into the group, I think, but I don't know how long it's available for. I guess they must delete them off at some point, so it may well disappear. Just see, I haven't scrolled down, and I've just scrolled down and see lots of comments. I do apologise, I didn't realise I had to do that. On my laptop they just pop up, but on my phone I have to actually scroll down, so my apologies for that. So good evening to you all for joining me. How lovely of you. Right, so now I've inked the edges, you'll be able to see a little bit better what it's all about. Okay, like that. So where you've got these fold lines here, that's what we need to do next. So you're folding that one in that way, like that. So if you look at the back, that's where I am, there. And then, excuse my fingerprints, have I got any baby wipes? Yeah, let me just clean my hands. Obviously got ink all over me. What a messy pup. Right, and then that one you fold back that way. Oh look, I've still got ink all over me. What a mess. Get rid of that before I put my fingers in it again. And then, I don't know if you can see that, how well you can see that, but you've kind of folded it back on itself. So you do that to all four around the outside like that. And also what's a good idea when you're doing these is if you've got a bone folder, just I'll do it with the, I don't know where my bone folder's gone, but I'll do it with this knife. Just press down on your folds like that. To get them nice and sort of flat, really. Otherwise you might find that your pages will stick up a little bit too much. Now the reason behind doing these gusseted is if you're doing them for a journal, when you close your journal, you kind of want the pages to flatten out, you know, flatten right down, and only really be visible when you kind of open them up. So they kind of pop back up again. Right, let me just carry on with these very quickly. That's it. We've been running flat out today trying to get all the orders out. We had loads coming in through our website as well as through Hochanda, so we'll get them out as soon as we can. That one, and you can see how it's starting to sort of take shape. I'm not sure how well you can see that actually, but like that. So we'll carry on with the next one. I've got two there. That's not very useful, is it? Like that. I don't quite know what's happened to the summer, do you? We've had an awful lot of rain here today. We had a bit of sun this morning, but when I looked at the forecast it didn't say we were going to get any rain, but we did. I suppose it keeps everything watered. Right. What's that? Right, so that's that one. That'll go like that. Let's do the last two. See, of course, when I do demos on Hochanda, I've got all this kind of pre-prepped. But I thought while Tony was watching the football, I'd come up and just show you all, because it really wasn't that clear, I don't think, on Hochanda, because I didn't really get the full amount of time to do it. It's not their fault, it's just the way it went, really. But they're such lovely people to work with over there. Right, that's that one. So there's another one there, and then I'll do this one. See, yeah, it's like British Summers used to be. Yes. You're quite right there, actually. You're quite right, my love. I do remember that long hot summer. When was it? 1986 or something, was it? That was a scorcher. Everybody talked about that for ages afterwards. Right, so these are all your layers. like that. So, was it 76, Celia? My God, really? Do you know, I thought it was in the 80s. God, my word, I suppose it might have been. Yeah. Right, anyway, these are all the pages. So as you can see, you've created your tunnel. And all you literally need to do now, in fact, if I turn it sideways, you'll be able to see a bit better, I think. Like that. Just wait for me to catch up on my screen so I can see what's going on. Yeah, you can see that. That's fine. So what we need to do now is we just need to glue all these pages together. So I grab some glue and a glue brush, and I'm literally just putting, you can use tape, double-sided tape if you want to. You don't have to use glue, anything that will stick paper. So that goes like that, and that, like that, and then we get the next one and we just glue that to the front of that, literally. And if you folded them fairly carefully, they should just all match up. Now you can of course use pegs and things if you need to. If you're using quite thick card, you might want to use pegs and that to hold this together. Right, so let's do the next layer. A bit more glue. Like that. And then we get the next one and glue that to that. Line it all up. And you can see it really starting to take shape now. But you can see, you know, you can tell already, I don't know how long I've been going for, but how easy it is and how quick. They really don't take long to do. I mean, obviously if you're going to sort of start putting in, layering up your images, then it's going to take a little bit longer. But you can get something really effective really quickly. And then if you have a look at the Hochanda show, you'll be able to see me doing it with the arch. So it's using both the templates. Oh, hello, Kaz. How are you doing? We need a phone call. We did say we would, and we haven't. Busy bees. Okay. Bit more glue on this layer. Like that. And then you put the last one on like that. So turn that over and you can see that that's actually created your tunnel. Now if you're using this piece, let me just get that out of the way. There, grab another one. So you can do your outline on here. Like that. And then Oops, don't forget your little holes. Not that I've got my, oh yes I have, no I haven't got my crocodile to hang, so I took it over to the cabin, that's right. But anyway, you'll get the gist. So we just cut that out. Like that. Like that. So that bit now will stick onto that back piece like that. And what you can do, what have I got to hand that I can stamp? Let's have a quick look. Oh, I could just use a text stamp, it doesn't matter. You can use anything you like, but I will just ink up a text stamp. And we can just stamp that there. Like that. So I just get my glue around the last one. That's it. And then I'll just glue that in place over there. Roughly speaking. That's the beauty of using wet glue, of course, because you can reposition, whereas your double-sided tape tends to just stick straight away. I'll pop that some water. And then that is the finished tunnel page. As you can see, I'll try and hold it at all different angles so you can see what it's like. So by all means, if you've ordered the templates and you're waiting on them to come, this live will remain in here. I'll try and convert it into a video to put onto YouTube as well, and you can refer back to it when you go to use your templates. What I'll try and do as well is I'll try and do a live at some other point, but doing the arch again, so you can see how you can use the two templates together. But that's about it. I thought it would just give you a bit of an insight into them, and hopefully all the orders will be winging their way to you all very soon. Thank you so much for all your support on Monday, and of course all your support from ordering from us direct as well. That's really good of you, I appreciate that. So thanks very much guys, have a lovely evening and speak to you soon. Bye.